Okay, guys, in this example, we are going to compute various binomial probabilities using Desmos graphing calculator. Okay, so I am going to go under resources right here and open Desmos graphing calculator on the side. And let's take a look at it. Okay, so first of all, where is binomial distribution here? So if you go to the plus sign right here, right, so you can see that. And then what you want to do is click on it and select inference. Okay, so you can see that inference is right here, right? That's inference. That's the menu we want. Then under probability distributions, you are going to click on that. And then from the drop-down menu, you're going to select binomial distribution. Okay, so for the binomial distribution, it has two what they call parameters. The first one is the number of trials. So imagine that you are tossing a coin 50 times. So the number of trials is how many times you are tossing that coin or how many individuals you are selecting. So in this case, that would be 50. And then the chance of success is going to depend on what success is for just one trial. So here it looks like we are flipping a fair coin and we just look at the heads versus tails. So that means our success probability is 0.5. Now, success probability should always be either a decimal between 0 and 1 or a fraction. So you can actually, if you want, type 1 divided by 2 here. That would also be correct. That's fine. And then we just click on create distribution. Okay. So now we got the beautiful binomial distribution here. And let's go ahead and compute some probabilities. So we're going to expand the menu that says cumulative probability, right here. So you can see this one right here. This is drop down menu that we are going to be expanding. And now we need to decide which region we choose. Okay, so anytime you have something like greater than or equal to, like in this example right here, you're going to use the region right. Anytime it's less, so kind of looks like letter L, or less than or equal to, you're going to use region left. And anytime it's between two numbers, and it's going to depend whether it's inclusive or not, and we're going to discuss that in a second, but then you would need something called inner. Also, anytime if it's equal to some number, that's always going to be also inner. So for example, if I wanted to know what's the chance that if I flip a coin 50 times, I will get heads maybe 24 times. If that's the case, then I'm just going to put 24 and 24 over here, and it tells me that the chance is 0.108. And it also highlights it on the picture here. So if you click on that highlighted line bar, you can see that the chance at 24 is equal to 0.108 approximately, right? So there is a 0.108 of seeing 24 heads out of 50 tosses. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the more than probability. Let's start with the easier one, which is this one right here. That one actually is straight from the right menu. So if you go to the region right, and you just insert the number 22, it is going to compute probability of being more than 22. Okay, so that's your probability, and you are just going to more than or equal to 22. So that's going to be 0.839. Now, that's not going to be quite the same thing as when the inequality is strict. So when it says greater than 26, you cannot just put 26 right here and think that that's going to be it, because it's going to start computing it from 26 and higher. So 26, 27, so on. When it says greater than, it does not include 26 itself. So 26th bar should not be highlighted. What that means is you should really start with 27. So if you choose 27, you can see that the first bar highlighted is 27, which is more than 26. So that's correct. So that's going to be 0.336. So a mistake could be to choose, you have to change it, so you could choose 25. But then you can immediately see that the first bar is 25, and 25 is certainly not greater than 26. So that's not right. So hopefully you will realize that that should be 27 here. Okay, so that's this answer. Now let's look at less than or equal to versus less than. So this is like C and D. Now we want left for the region. The less than or equal to is easy because you're just selecting 23, and I mean, it just matches this exactly. So that's just going to be 0.336. But that's not going to happen with the strict inequality. When it's less than strictly, the 21 itself should not be included. So if I did 21, you can see that there's 21 or less, right? All of these other bars. But I want strictly less than 21. So 21 itself should not be included, which means that I should start at 20. So it should be less than or equal to 20. So that's going to give me 0.101. Now, if you made a mistake, and again, you don't know, do I subtract one, do I add one? Let's just say that you messed up and you said 22. Well, you can see here that it starts with 22, but 22 is not less than 21. That's incorrect. So that would have been wrong. Okay, so that should be 20. Okay, finally, let's look at the between probability, like between two numbers. So that's when you are using the option inner. And the first one, when both endpoints are included, you can just set them whatever they are. So 21 to 29 would be it, and then that's your answer, 0.797. However, when you look at something like this, where is the strict inequality, what that means is the endpoint should not be included. So 21 shouldn't be a part of this. So here you can see that 21 is a part of the inequality and 29 is a part of the inequality, and you don't want either of them. So you have to adjust it. So what you do is the lower one you increase by 1, so that's 22, and the upper one you decrease by 1, so that's 28. And now the 22 and 23 and 24 and so on, all of them are between 21 and 29, but not including the endpoints, okay? So that should be 0.678, and let's just check our answers.